Welcome to our English learning podcast. This is episode 23, and today we have an exciting topic. We are talking about job interviews. Job interviews can be a little scary, but with practice, you can do great.
Yes, that's right, James. Job interviews are very important for landing that dream job.
Exactly, so let's dive into how to prepare for an interview. Maria, what's the first step in preparing?
The first step is to research the company. You need to know what they do and what they stand for. It shows you care.
Absolutely. Knowing the company helps you answer questions better. What else should you prepare?
You should also review the job description. Highlight the skills they want and think about how your experience matches them.
Spot on, and don't forget to practice common interview questions. What are some key questions to practice?
Definitely tell me about yourself and why do you want to work here? Those come up all the time.
Yes, those are classic. What materials should you bring to the interview?
Bring extra copies of your resume, a list of references, and a notebook for notes. You never know when you'll need to jot something down.
Great tips! Now let's move on to common questions. You mentioned tell me about yourself. How should someone answer that?
Keep it brief. Focus on your education, relevant experience, and what you're looking for in your next role.
That sounds good. What about the question, why do you want to work here?
You can answer by mentioning what you admire about the company and how your skills align with their goals. It shows you've done your homework.
Exactly. And discussing strengths and weaknesses, how do you suggest handling that?
For strengths, choose something relevant to the job. For weaknesses, be honest, but show how you're working to improve it. Nobody is perfect, right?
True. Now, let's add some humor. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you in an interview?
Oh, once I accidentally called the interviewer by the wrong name. I was so embarrassed, but I just laughed and said, well, I guess it's time to change my name too.
That's hilarious. It's great that you could laugh it off. Now, let's talk about body language. How important is that during an interview?
Body language is very important. Sit up straight, make eye contact, and smile. It shows you're confident and engaged.
Exactly, and dressing for the interview, any tips?
Dress appropriately for the job. If it's corporate, go for business attire. If it's creative, smart casual works well. Just don't show up in flip-flops.
Good advice. Now, what should you avoid during an interview?
Avoid speaking negatively about past employers. Also, don't interrupt the interviewer. It's all about respect.
Great points. When should you bring up salary expectations?
It's best to wait until the interviewer brings it up. If they don't mention it, you can ask toward the end of the interview.
That's a smart strategy. What about following up after the interview?
Always send a thank you email. It shows appreciation and keeps you on their radar. Plus, it's a nice touch.
Absolutely. Now, what's your biggest tip for someone going into a job interview?
Stay calm and be yourself. Remember, they want to know you as a person, not just your resume.
That's fantastic advice. So, listeners, what are your tips for job interviews? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes, we'd love to hear your stories and experiences.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found this episode helpful and maybe a bit entertaining.
Good luck with your job interviews, everyone. Remember, humor can help ease the tension.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and hit the notification bell for updates.
See you next time for more fun discussions.
Goodbye.